How you doing, everybody? My name is Dr. Sami Baya. Please welcome back to my YouTube channel. Your silence is quietly killing them. Here is how. The weight of unspoken words. Silence can often speak louder than words. When we choose not to speak out, whether in the face of injustice, personal struggles, or emotional distress, we are unknowingly contributing to the harm of others. The absence of our voice in critical moments can leave someone feeling unheard, isolated, or neglected. This silence is more than just a lack of sound. It is an absence of support, empathy, and connection that can have detrimental effects. Sometimes silence stems from apathy. We witness pain and suffering around us, yet remain silent, either out of discomfort or a sense of powerlessness. This apathy can be just as damaging as active cruelty. By doing nothing, we perpetuate the feeling that the suffering person is not worthy of attention or care, and that can deepen their despair. When someone is struggling with mental health issues, silence can be a form of neglect. If those around them fail to acknowledge their pain, offer support, or even ask how they are doing, it can lead the person to feel invisible. This isolation can amplify their distress, pushing them further into a darker place where they might believe no one cares, ultimately worsening their mental health. Children and teenagers are especially vulnerable to the harmful effects of silence. When they express their emotions or struggles, and the adults around them fail to acknowledge or validate their feelings, it sends a message that their voice doesn't matter. This can lead to emotional issues later in life, including low self-worth, depression, or an inability to communicate effectively in relationships. In situations of abuse, whether physical, emotional, or verbal, silence can act as an enabler. When a bystander, a friend, or even a family member remains quiet and fails to intervene, they may be allowing the abuser to continue their harmful behavior unchecked. This silence, whether due to fear, indifference, or disbelief, directly contributes to the ongoing trauma of the victim. Often, silence is misinterpreted. A person may remain quiet because they don't know how to express themselves, or they fear rejection or judgment. However, their silence can be perceived as disinterest or apathy by others. This misinterpretation can further alienate them, leaving them to deal with their problems alone, further deepening the emotional isolation. In personal relationships, whether romantic or platonic, silence can be just as harmful as harsh words. When someone is going through a tough time and their partner or friend chooses to remain silent instead of offering support or seeking to understand, it can create an emotional void. The person in pain may start to feel that their struggles are invisible, which can erode trust and intimacy. Loneliness is often exacerbated by silence. When a person is already feeling alone, the lack of communication or acknowledgement from those around them reinforces their sense of isolation. This emotional loneliness can be as dangerous as physical isolation, leading to heightened stress, anxiety, and a host of other mental health challenges. In professional settings, silence can also be detrimental. Employees who face harassment, discrimination, or burnout may feel compelled to stay quiet due to fear of repercussions, such as job loss or retaliation. The longer silence persists in such environments, the more it can contribute to a toxic work culture, affecting not only the individual, but the collective well-being of the team. Silence in the face of injustice, whether in matters of race, gender, or inequality, plays a dangerous role in perpetuating systemic problems. When individuals choose not to speak up against discrimination or unfair treatment, they indirectly support the status quo. This kind of silence can delay progress, leaving marginalized groups to continue suffering without the support they desperately need. Grief is a powerful emotion that requires acknowledgement and expression. When a person experiences loss and those around them remain silent, it can feel as though their sorrow is invalid. The failure to offer comforting words or to listen can leave the grieving person with a sense of abandonment, amplifying their pain and prolonging their emotional recovery. In moments of mental health crisis, silence from friends, family, or colleagues can be catastrophic. If a person shows signs of severe depression or suicidal thoughts, and their cries for help are met with silence, they may feel that there is no hope left. This silence, often born from discomfort or lack of understanding, can be deadly. In today's digital age, silence on social media can be as harmful as remaining silent in person. When people are silent about important issues such as mental health awareness, social justice, or the struggles of others, it can contribute to a sense of apathy in the broader public. This lack of engagement can prevent much needed change and create a climate where individuals feel like their struggles are invisible to the larger society. For someone who is constantly met with silence, the psychological toll can be severe. They may begin to question their worth and wonder if anyone cares about their well-being. Over time, this can lead to depression, anxiety, and a sense of hopelessness, which can be just as damaging as any outwardly expressed negative emotion. Shame often thrives in silence. When people are ashamed of their circumstances, whether it is related to mental health, finances, or personal failures, they may retreat into silence. However, this silence only strengthens the hold of shame. Reaching out, talking, and opening up to others can break the grip of shame and provide a path to healing and understanding. Silence in the face of abuse of power or authority can help perpetuate a toxic environment. Whether in the workplace, at school, or within a family, when authority figures abuse their power and others choose to stay silent, they allow the cycle of abuse to continue unchecked. This silence emboldens the abusers and increases the harm done to vulnerable individuals. Sometimes silence comes from within. Self-doubt can make people reluctant to speak up, even when they are suffering or need help. This internal silence can be just as damaging as external silence because it stops individuals from reaching out and seeking the support they need. The more they remain quiet, the more trapped they feel in their thoughts, which can further reinforce their feelings of worthlessness. In families, silence can cause long-term emotional damage. When parents or guardians refuse to engage in meaningful conversations about difficult topics, such as mental health, addiction, or trauma, it can perpetuate a cycle of emotional neglect. Children and adults alike may grow up believing that certain issues are taboo, which can prevent them from seeking help or discussing their struggles later in life. Silence can be particularly harmful when individuals in positions of privilege remain quiet in the face of injustice or suffering. Vocal allies who stand up for those without a voice are crucial in creating a more compassionate society. When people with power choose not to use their voices to advocate for others, they inadvertently contribute to the perpetuation of social inequality. Silence can also be dangerous when it comes to issues of intolerance or discrimination. Whether it's racism, sexism, or homophobia, the refusal to speak out against prejudice allows harmful ideologies to thrive. By staying silent, we indirectly support the perpetuation of hatred and division rather than fostering a culture of inclusion and acceptance. Trust is built through communication, understanding, and empathy. When individuals or communities remain silent during critical moments, whether in relationships, workplaces, or broader social issues, it erodes trust. People begin to question whether they can count on others to listen, support, or take action, which can lead to greater feelings of alienation and betrayal. The more someone is met with silence, the more they may withdraw from the world. This cycle of isolation can be difficult to break. When a person feels unheard or unseen, they may start to isolate themselves further, convincing themselves that no one will ever understand or care. This isolation can be a catalyst for deeper emotional and psychological struggles. Breaking the silence doesn't always require grand gestures. Sometimes, simply acknowledging someone's pain or offering a listening ear can make all the difference. Even in difficult or uncomfortable situations, speaking up and offering support can create a sense of solidarity, showing that someone cares and is willing to stand with the person in their moment of need. Empathy is the antidote to silence. When we take the time to understand someone's struggles, listen without judgment, and offer compassion, we break through the silence that so often isolates people in their pain. Empathy creates connection, understanding, and healing, turning silence into a powerful tool for change rather than a force for harm. Your silence, though unintentional, may be quietly killing those around you. Whether it's through neglect, indifference, or a lack of understanding, silence can be a harmful force. But the opposite is true as well. By finding the courage to speak up, to listen, and to offer support, you can save lives, foster healing, and create a more compassionate world where everyone feels heard, seen, and valued. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you've learned a thing or two. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you've not done so. Thank you.